Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you can click the subscribe button and stay for a while. I upload 3 times a week. Get ready with me, so shop my stash, try on makeup. If it's makeup or beauty related, I will be posting it. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. My hair is looking a little cray. I bought this hot round comb brush thing and it's either too small or I need to practice. So yeah, that's what's going on. It's kind of untamable right now. All right, so of course, as you could tell from the title of the video, I went ahead and posted on my community tab asking you all to choose my makeup for me. So that's what we're doing today. You are all telling me what I'm going to use to complete my makeup look for today. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started because I'm pretty excited. Okay, let me put this hair back. Okay, so I did go in to the Ilia Face Milk just to bring back a tiny bit of hydration, but only 2 primers were mentioned. The first one was the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer by Windy City 312. I'll be using that today for my T-zone. And Lucia Ayaso 2260 mentioned the Victoria Beckham Golden Hour Tinted Primer Moisturizer, which I do have. So let's start with the Victoria Beckham. I have been using this, not a whole lot, but the times I have used it, I do really enjoy it. It's pretty nice. And the Hourglass Vanish, I also do really enjoy this. If you've been here, you know. And this I use for my T-zone. Okay, and now for foundation. The Makeup by Mario foundation, Windy City 312 mentioned that. The Rose Inc foundation, Miss Camille Rodriguez mentioned that. Audrey Michelle, my beautiful friend Audrey, she also mentioned the Rose Inc foundation. Lucia Ayaso mentioned that she's been hearing great things about the KVD foundation, the Good Apple Liquid Serum Foundation. You know what? I think I use the Rose Inc for today. I haven't picked it up in a minute, so let me grab that real quick. Okay, for the Rose Inc foundation, it's the Soft Light Skin Smoothing Liquid Foundation. 13N is the shade I have. This is a good shade for me. I love this. If you have tried the House Labs, very similar. How it performs, all the good stuff. BK Beauty 106. Okay, see how pretty this foundation is. All right, now for concealer, Mrs. Moore mentioned the Cali Ray or Kofi concealer. I do own the Cali Ray under eye brightener and I've been loving it. Camille Rodriguez mentioned the NARS concealer. Audrey Michelle, the Fenty concealer. So I think what I'll do is, I feel like I recently used the NARS concealer. I've been using the Fenty concealer. It's actually a really beautiful formula. Sinks right into the skin. Do tread softly if you're somebody who doesn't like a lot of coverage because it can definitely get heavy. But let me pull out the NARS concealer and I'll use the Cali Ray under eye brightener before I go in with the NARS. Okay, for the Cali Ray under eye brightener, I have the shade Golden Hour. This is such a beautiful formula. If you are somebody who enjoys a lightweight coverage, something that is hydrating, and just a thin formula, this would be absolutely perfect. Maturing eyes, I also do feel like you would really enjoy this. Now, like I said, it's a pretty lightweight product, so don't expect Pat McGrath coverage. It's lightweight, so keep that in mind. When I layer it, it actually does do pretty well. I feel like I don't have too many under eye brighteners that can layer nicely without it looking cakey, you know? And it literally melts right into my skin. By the way, this was the BK Beauty 110. For the NARS, I have the shade Custard. It's a tiny bit light. I definitely feel like I need maybe 1 or 2 shades darker. But this is a nice, super classic concealer that a lot of people still absolutely love. If I finish this, I might end up buying a full size. Maybe I'll just go. I have so much makeup that I honestly do not need a full-size concealer, so maybe I'll just do a mini again. But yeah, it's nice. You could tell that it's getting close to being done. Okay, that's what we're looking like. Now for cream products, someone did mention cream bronzer and cream blush. That Jedi Ninja said Kevyn Aucoin contour stick and blush. I have both here and we are going to use them. Both absolutely beautiful formulas. I wish more people would talk about Kevyn Aucoin. I feel like now that they're not popular anymore, nobody's talking about them, but still absolutely beautiful products, I feel like. So let's apply these on. Okay, the Kevyn Aucoin contrast stick. This is supposed to be more of a contouring kind of shade. I have Tone is the shade that I have. I definitely feel that this pulls a tiny bit more neutral. I think they only came out with 4 shades. And from what I can see online, the one that actually looks like a true contouring kind of shade is the lightest shade. The rest of them, for me personally, they look like bronzers and more like a neutral kind of bronzer. So I use this as a bronzer contour kind of situation because I do feel like it pulls more like a neutral bronzing shade than a contour shade. Okay, this is the Nikki LaRose N15 when she collaborated with BK Beauty. It's a beautiful formula, blends out like a dream, absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, I wish more people would continue talking about this brand because they are actually a really good brand still. Well, from what I have heard, because I didn't dip into Kevyn Aucoin until 2 years ago. My first purchase was that 3-tone bronzer. But do you see that? So pretty. Okay, now for the Kevyn Aucoin color stick, I have the shade Awaken. It's like a pretty mauve rosy kind of tone. This was round at the top. It's not round anymore. I can apply this straight onto my cheek and it'll blend perfectly fine, but I'm just picking it up with this BK Beauty 112 brush. Beautiful shade. Again, this formula, absolutely stunning. So pretty. Blends out super easy, does not lift my makeup up. Okay, now it's time to powder, and I only saw 2 different powders mentioned. Windy City 312 mentioned the Huda Loose setting powder. That one is a little bit too drying for my personal liking. I prefer to pull that out during summer when my skin is a little bit more hydrated, but it is a decent, it's a pretty good powder. The Hourglass Loose powder, which I absolutely enjoy. I think it's so underrated. So I think I'll use the Hourglass, and then someone mentioned for me to use also a drugstore product. Mandy 22F. Melt, she said the Melt eyeshadow, the Bailey palette if I have it, and 1 item from the drugstore. So I do have a powder from the drugstore that I like to use in my under eyes, on my under eyes. So let me go ahead and pull those out and we can powder this face. Okay, for my under eyes, we're gonna jump into this NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop press powder. This was launched, I wanna say it's been over 2 years. And I didn't hear too many people talk about it. And then I think one of the bigger YouTubers used it. And then that's when I started hearing people talk about it. I want to say it was probably a year after it was launched. It's a good, decent powder. Not a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury, but a good alternative for the Charlotte Tilbury. I do use this under my eyes. I've heard some people say that it's a tiny bit drying, but for me it isn't. Maybe it's because I don't use such a huge amount. Juicy Jazz, I've seen her use and rave about this powder. The shade I have is Fair. It does such a good job, and it does like it does leave my under eyes looking very smooth. It's a good powder. It's a really good powder. So next time you see it, maybe check it out. And then I have a mini of the Hourglass, so we'll use this to set the rest of my face. I discovered this because of Tara Lynn, and it's a beautiful powder. Make Beauty powder brush. Okay, what my complexion is looking like. All right, now for powder bronzer. Savannah 1407 mentioned the Dior Riviera 2023 bronzer, or the new one, and I do have the new one. Windy City 312 mentioned the Pat McGrath bronzer. Camille Rodriguez mentioned the House Labs bronzer. Audrey Michelle mentioned the new Dior bronzer. And Miss Lucia Ayaso mentioned, I'm pretty sure, the Victoria Beckham bronzer. Please hold. Okay, I'm back. We're gonna jump into the new Dior. What is this? Natural Bronze Glow. I have the shade 032 Pink Bronze. I have really been enjoying this. Beautiful formula. Different from the regular Dior bronzer they have to offer. Yeah, it's a good one. If you enjoy a bronzer that's not a flat matte formulation, has a little bit of character, a little bit of blushiness in it, I do feel like you would enjoy this. So this is the Sonia G Soft Buffer. I do have to really swirl the brush in the pan though, because if I don't, some of the Christian Dior logo, that part of the bronzer is what has the sheen in it, and it can look like patches of sheen. But yeah, you see that? So pretty. All right, I think I'll do eyes first and then I'll go into blush. Quite a bit of palettes were mentioned, or brands I should say. Melt eyeshadow palette from Rapunzel 2357. Mrs. Moore mentioned Adept eyeshadows. Audrey Michelle, What's Up Beauty Dragon palette. Beautiful palette. I think for Adept, I only have two different options. Camille Rodriguez mentioned MAC Cosmetics. I have not picked up a MAC Cosmetics palette in quite some time. Mandy 22F also mentioned a Melt palette, the Bailey Serene Fatally Yours. If I have it, I do have it and I love it. It's a beautiful palette. DK RK4QS Patrick Ta palette or blushes. Patrick Ta blushes are like, everyone loves Patrick Ta blushes. I feel like everyone does. Okay, so let me see what I'm going to use. I want to keep it quick and simple because my kids just, you know. You either know or you don't. But if you've been here for a minute, you know. Hold please.
A few moments later.
All right, eye base is on. I went into the Rare Beauty Eye Primer, and we're gonna jump into the Patrick Ta. Which one is this one? The Major Dimension palette, the original. I only own this one, the second one, which has some rosy tones in there, and I did not buy the all matte one. I have not picked up a Patrick Ta eyeshadow palette in quite some time, so we're gonna use this. All right, let's jump in to let's do this shade here. Nicola Rose and BK Beauty N13. Singe E03, and I'm gonna jump in to the shade next to that one. Blend out the edges. Okay, I'm gonna jump into the darkest shade in the cream formula, and I'm gonna use this BK Beauty 204. This is going to go in the outer corner, and this cream product actually lays down beautifully on top of the powders. I'm just using this to deepen up the outer corner a tiny bit more. Next, glitter glue is on, and I think I'm gonna start with this shade here, maybe a tiny bit of this one too. That darkest shade is more of a metallic. but still very pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna jump in to that shade next to it, which feels like it's pretty dry already. Like I really have to dig my finger in there. Very pretty. Okay, so pretty. I'm gonna jump into the lightest matte. Also, I inspected my palette because I have seen a couple of people say that their Patrick Ta palettes are getting mold in them. Mine does not have mold. I just checked. Let me finish off the other eye and I'll be right back. Okay, mascara is on. Nobody mentioned a mascara, so I went ahead and used the YSL Lash Clash mascara. I have a little sample I'm going through. It's almost done. It's starting to flake a tiny bit and it feels like it's drying out as well. I do also have my Cali Ray mascara open, and I think that, oh, the KVD Tubey mascara, but I'm gonna toss that to the trash because it's a horrible mascara. And for eyebrows, I'm pretty sure I only saw one person mention eyebrows. Windy City 312. She said, well, for blush, the Patrick Ta Blush Duo. And then for eyebrows, the Benefit Goof Proof Eyebrow Powder and Precisely My Brow Pencil. So I went ahead and used the pencil. The Rare Beauty Brow Gel is also mentioned from her on here. I don't own that, so I'll just go ahead when I set my eyebrows, which is usually after highlighter. I'll use one of the ones that's in my rotation. Okay, so for blush, like I mentioned, the Patrick Ta. I feel like I've already used that a couple of times in my recent videos, so I don't think I'll use one today. Pat McGrath. I feel like ever since Pat McGrath came out with blushes, a lot of people absolutely love them, and with good reason because they are so good. The new Guerlain Terracotta blushes. I have two shades, so that might be what I use today. The Patrick Ta blushes. Okay, another one for Patrick Ta. And I'm talking about powder blush here. Lucia Ayaso mentioned, Hourglass blushes. And I believe also the Victoria Beckham Posh Blush stick. Okay, so let's go into some Guerlain Terracotta blushes. Okay, so I own two. Deep Nude, which is like a dark pinky burgundy wine shade, kind of. So I don't know why it's called dark nude. And then Deep Coral. I think I'm going to go with this one because I feel like it's going to go perfect with the eyeshadow I have on. Okay, I'm going to jump into the Nikki LaRose and BK Beauty in 1.7, the dark bristle side. I've been loving these Guerlain Terracotta blushes. So pretty. The pan is so hard pressed that there's no kick up. I think it'll be very difficult to go through these blushes. Okay. Oh yeah. I feel like that goes perfect with this eye look. Yeah, I've been loving these. I definitely do feel that the formula softens up my cheeks and makes it look like I have a filter on them, like a blurring filter. So pretty. Okay, let's see if anybody mentioned highlighter. What's a Beauty highlighter, Miss Audrey Michelle. I love that highlighter. It is so good. Oh, Windy City 312 Rare Beauty highlighter. I do not own that, and it looks pretty icy, and I think that's the reason why I skipped. Camille Rodriguez, the new Natasha Denona highlighter. I do own that, and I did already post up my review about it. I might use that one today. Victoria Beckham highlighter from Miss Lucia Ayaso 2260. I do not own that, and it is kind of like the Westman Atelier stick. It's like a creamy highlighter. So let's go in with the new Natasha Denona one, shall we? All right, so here is the Natasha Denona High Gen Skincare Infused Glow Beautifier, and it's a highlighting powder. I already did a review on this, like I said. It's an interesting formula because, and I've already used it 2 or 3 times. I love the smell of it. I'm trying to figure out what it reminds me of. For sure, a body wash that I have used in the past. That's the smell I'm getting. Underneath my foundation, it blurs my pores, but on top, it doesn't. Like, I tried using it all over the face like I do the Hourglass, just to kind of blend and melt everything together. And even though it does do a very similar thing as the Hourglass powders do, it does not blur the pores like it does when you use it underneath. At least for my experiences from the 3 times that I have used it, that's what happens. So I'm actually preferring this as a targeted highlighter and underneath my base, like all over. And you can go light or you can go a tiny bit heavier so you can see that luminosity peeking through your foundation. But I do feel like this powder has some sort of special magic. Okay, this is the Sonia G Worker L, and I'm going to use it right now as a targeted highlight. It's a very pretty formula. I would say it's different than what she currently has in the line as far as what I have tried, because I didn't try any of the face palettes that she did where it's the 2 blushes and the highlighter. I didn't try those, so I'm interested to keep seeing reviews on these and hopefully do comparisons to those highlighters. But it's a beautiful one. You see that? It sinks right into your skin and I love that. Okay, we are almost done. Just lips left. I did see a couple of mentions, but not a whole lot. Audrey Michelle Pat McGrath Satin Lipstick. Ooh, and I just noticed Win City 312 mentioned the Natasha Denona Yucca palette. How did I miss that? Guerlain Kiss Kiss Be Glow Lip Oil. I unfortunately don't own that. Who mentioned that? Steffi's Happy Madness. Camille Rodriguez mentioned a MAC lipstick. And I think Lucia Ayaso, what did she mention? Oh, she didn't. She said, I don't use lipstick right now, but I'm saving to make a Lisa Eldridge purchase. So Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. Let me pull out a MAC Cosmetics lipstick. I feel like I haven't used one in quite some time, so hold please. Okay, so I pulled out MAC lip liner and MAC lipstick. This MAC lip liner is in the shade Oak. Oh, I need to sharpen it. Let's see if I can make it. The tone I picked for the lipstick is a peachy tone, so I think this will go perfect. Okay, you see how beautiful that lip liner is? I think I saw 2 people request that I do a full face of MAC Cosmetics. If I do a full face of MAC Cosmetics, I would be missing a few things. So maybe I'll pick up the primer and then just use everything else that I already own from the brand. Anywho, this is a limited edition lipstick from MAC Cosmetics. It's a collaboration that they did with Rosalia. Octour was the name of the collection. And I purchased, I think, 2 lipsticks and the eyeshadow palette. I'm pretty sure she was a rapper from Spain, so the names on a lot of the products are like Spanish. This is in Nuez Moscada, and I thought it was the peachy tone one that I have, but it's not. It's more of a mauve tone, so hopefully it goes okay with this eye look. But this formula is so nice. It's the soft matte formula that they have, and it is so pretty, and it smells like a dessert, kind of, right? I feel like it's the typical MAC smell they have for the lipsticks. Okay, let me go ahead and do my hair, just fix up, and I'll be right back. All right, my lovelies, here is the finished makeup. My hair, I think, looks okay. I think I just need to buy a bigger hot round brush to maybe make it work, because I do love when it looks bouncy and feathery, you know? Okay, so I did see someone mention a setting spray. Windy City 312, the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. I normally don't apply setting spray. It's only like special occasions, but I do own the Charlotte Tilbury. I think it's okay. I don't think it's absolutely fabulous like I have heard other people mention. I don't know, you tell me what you think if you have tried it. I own a mini. I never purchased the full size. Thank you so much, my lovelies. I appreciate every single one of you. You have no idea, all the comments, all the likes. If you use my links to shop, it all truly does mean the world to me. Anytime I post a question, your answers help me out so much, especially when it's for a video. It helps me bring the vision that I have for the video to life. So all of you who commented on my post asking to pick my makeup, thank you so much. This video was possible because of you, and I absolutely appreciate it so much. Okay, well that's going to be it. If you own any of the products that I mentioned or any of the products that I used, make sure to pick them up and use them. It's so easy to forget about our older makeup products because we keep buying new makeup. I know I'm guilty of that, and I just purchased Dolce & Gabbana makeup. I did purchase it directly from the Dolce & Gabbana website because was it Saks Fifth Avenue that had it available? They no longer, I'm guessing the tint sold out. And I don't know how many shades they had available, but on the Dolce & Gabbana website, they have 30 shades total available. So I purchased the tint, the powder, a blush, and a bronzer. I'm excited. Another luxurious brand to add to my channel, right? Because I need that, don't I? Okay, well that's going to be it. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate you. With that being said, do not forget to give the video a big thumbs up. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I need to get downstairs because my kids are just not cooperating as usual. And I will see you all on my next video. Bye.